another test ride video on my channel. My name is Marshall3498, and today I'm riding a 2021 Royal Enfield Continental GT. The more upright version, I may get the names backwards, sorry if I am. There's a Continental GT. The GT is what I'm on currently with, that has clip-on bars essentially, and the one in front of me with the gentleman in the orange helmet is the Continental. I think, like I said, if I'm wrong in the comments, don't hate me on that. It's hard on a lot of these first ride stuff to get all the specs exactly right. But first impressions are, because of the riding position, kind of three-quarter tucked, like almost like a sport bike, but your legs aren't that way. It's kind of comfortable to me, where I used to have my Yamaha SE6 that is kind of bent over. And even though this bike is a prettier bike to look at, I think if I was going to buy something this platform, I would probably get the Continental, just because of the bars are basically makes you straight up and down. This, I mean, yeah, you could probably ride with one hand and kind of do the sport bike kind of stretch back thing like that. But other than that, you're pretty much stuck in this position. I didn't think it would be awful, like I said on one, the difference, because I didn't know which one I wanted to test ride. But I think if I was going to buy one, like I said, buy the other one. But for a little 650 parallel V-twin, this little thing rips, and they're only like 45 horsepower. But it's just, you know, smooth linear power, you know, 40 miles an hour. This bike is a 6-speed, however, bike on makes like 42 horsepower, but it is air and oil cooled. But it just makes real linear power. It feels really thin to me. Like, it feels like when I grip the tank, that I can feel the tank, yes, but it really feels like there's not much there. I guess because of the bent over position, where you're so far over the bars, feel like basically that your head is at the headlight, and it's pretty close to that actually. But you know, I mean, for a little bop around back road bike, maybe to commute back and forth to work on, if you had say a 30-minute commute or less, this bike would be really perfect. They're really light. I think this bike weighs just under 450 pounds. Seat height is low. I'm 5'10" with a 32-inch inseam, and I can flat foot this no problem with a lot of knee bend. I believe the seat height is something like 30 inches, maybe a little bit more, not very much, but because the bike is so thin and the seat is fairly thin, it really allows you that much more reach to the bars. Kind of falling behind the group here while talking, sorry people. I'll speed it up a little bit. On the last demo ride that I went to today, the Kawasaki one, was a smaller group. Was only me and another guy and a lead rider and a follower. In this one there's a lot more people, but I got the sense that this guy in front of me was not gonna be blazingly fast. I mean, we're doing 55, you know, airflow, because it's all the wind blasts on you because of the type of bike you are on. It's actually not that bad. Somehow I think where your head is and the gauges are, you don't get much wind on your helmet. It's all on, like, you know, your rib cage and the center of your chest. It's actually not that bad. I don't know about riding this bike when it's really cold, but you know, for nice warm summertime temps and above, you know, say 70 degrees and above, this bike will be really good. Because like I said, it's not uncomfortable, but it's not as comfortable as the other version. Some people, you know, may like the position more than others because they're, you know, they grew up in their younger days riding sports bikes, so they like this bent over position. I've ridden a few bikes that are bent over like this, but not that many. And so to me, like I said, like my SE6 to me was comfortable, but it wasn't this far bent over. This is a lot bent over for my taste, but it's not awful. You could get used to it. But like I said, touring on this in this position for me, any more than about an hour at a time, not so much. But you know, I mean, these little both, I don't think there's much price difference. I think the Continental and the GT that I'm on, I think the GT and the Continental, unless you get like a special paint job, are about the same amount of money too. Both are like don't quote me if I'm wrong on this, because this is more of a first ride impression, but both bikes are only like high sixes, mid $7,000 range, which for what you're getting, you know, for a simple back to basic motorcycle, it's not bad. They're finished for the price though, as far as the fit and finish is really good, I think, this day and age. But the suspension feels like this road I have on has a bunch of these little small bumps that typically in your car you wouldn't pick up, but it's doing a really good job of soaking it up. I mean, the bike, yeah, it has, like the Himalayan, has Bribey brakes on it, front and rear, which is like a budget Brembo, but they don't feel bad. You know, we're doing 55 miles an hour, top gear, 3,800 RPM. Bike just purrs along, no vibration, no nothing. But you know, it's a back to basics motorcycle. It has ABS, has fuel injection. But the one I'm riding, I don't know, try to look down the GoPro while riding and keep where I'm watch going, but the one I'm on is this British Racing Green, dark kind of hunter green, and it is really, really pretty. If this was, you know, something I was really interested in buying, I would definitely get this color. It's just a gorgeous motorcycle, especially for the price, you know. Well, Enfield has come a long way in a lot of their stuff, and you know, like the little Himalayan that I rode not that long ago, I'm impressed with this right off the bat, just like I was the Himalayan. I think I would probably like it more, like I said, if I was on the more upright riding position. But that one, it's not as pretty. For a bike you're gonna just ride every now and then, it's just not as pretty. There's nothing wrong with the other one, but this one, in my opinion, looks better. You could probably even, if you really wanted to on this one, you could probably put a little bit higher clip-ons on it, where it wasn't as so far bent over. For somebody who's a little shorter, probably would be more comfortable, because they wouldn't be holding themselves up as much with longer arms like me. But it's not bad. Like I said, it's a fun little bike. It really moves really easy side to side. It's very light, very flickable. The motor on this thing, to just be a little parallel twin, I mean, it will get down and pull. You know, I'll try lower gear here. Let's see. No gear indicator, unfortunately, on this bike, but you have the classic 2 dial gauges, you know, your tach and your speedometer, and that's about it. There is a fuel gauge and an odometer and a couple of trips, but it would be hard pressed to really be able to see them well. But I mean, you know, in this ride position, I can just glance down without dipping my head, and I can still see the speedometer and the tach even with wearing a GoPro. So you know, as far as being visible to the gauges, you're fine. You can probably see them a little bit better if you're wearing a half helmet, or you didn't have, you know, a little bit of a shield in your way, but that's okay. But yeah, it's a fun little motorcycle. It's playful. It doesn't pretend to do anything that it shouldn't or shouldn't do, but it's just a really fun little bike. I'm impressed. I don't know about this road though. All the little undulations in it make me kind of timid as far as really ripping it around corners. But you know, it's a bike I'm not used to either, so there's that. That's the only bad thing about people who've never been on these demo rides. I do suggest to anybody, if you don't have at least a year, maybe 2, I wouldn't suggest going on any of these demos. You get some experience under your belt, because you have to trust everybody in front of you to know what they should do and what they shouldn't do, and know what they're doing. I've not ever had any bad experience on demo rides, but sometimes, depending on the manufacturer, they get a little more spirited riding than maybe some people are comfortable with. I'm fine with it. I can adapt. You know, I've been riding long enough now, almost 7 years. It doesn't really bother me. A couple new Triumphs there. I think the one in the front was a Trident, I do believe. But yeah, this is just a fun little motorcycle. It doesn't pretend to be anything that it's not, and it's just fun. The gear and the 5th and 6th are really high up there though. Like, I thought I was in 6, and I was like, I wonder what gear I'm in, and I went to go pull in the clutch. expecting the shifter not to move, and it moved because apparently I was only in 5th. Didn't realize it. But yeah, this is just for anybody interested on going to a local dealer to go test ride a Continental or a GT 650 platform. Basically, you know, this is Royal Enfield's version of a Trop Bonneville for half the price. And I mean, the motor sounds good, even with stock exhaust. You really, I think a little flat screen on these especially would just kind of add to the overall look of it. But what a fun little motorcycle. I mean, there's straight roll on. That's wide open, but granted, you know, the bike doesn't pretend to be anything it's not. Sorry, I forgot to shut the visor because I got a little throttle happy and was having fun. Sorry, but I mean, this is just, it's a fun little motorcycle. It doesn't pretend to be anything it's not. Like I said, if you haven't went not even test rode, if you're interested on these little cafe racer type motorcycles and don't want to spend a lot of money, I don't think you can really beat this for what you're getting versus what you're paying for. But you know, go check it out and see what you think it's about. I was a little hesitant, like right now it's like, I hope we're not good on Interstate 40 because no wind protection, this on the interstate with a crowded interstate. I don't think that would be a lot of fun, but luckily we didn't. So but yeah, these bikes, they're fantastic. Like the brakes feel good, like I said, the transmission's very smooth. It's a little notchy, but it's still very smooth. It goes into gear easy, goes up, gears easy. It's a fun little motorcycle. Like I said, anybody from the retro category, if they're interested on these type of bikes, you should definitely go ride one, go down to your local dealer, check it out, sit on them. Pictures don't do it justice, like a lot of things say, and this is definitely true in that sense. See what she's got wide open here. Yeah, there's a rev limiter, but yeah, it'll pull. It definitely does well. Sorry, I was trying to catch up to the group. But, you know, what a cool little tunnel of trees riding through. This has been a really good demo ride. Definitely picked a good route. I wish the one I went on earlier today picked a route like this. This is fun. There's no traffic, little scenery, little back roads like this. It's fun. You know, back to basics. Forget the interstate, forget the 4-lane. Just take them on a 2-lane little road. They can flog the bikes a little bit and have a lot of fun. But on that, guys, if you've not already done so, please like and subscribe to the video. Turn the bell icon on, as I normally upload once a week. If you've not already, like I said, if there's anything I could do to help you answer any questions, I'll do that to the best of my ability. But on that, guys, hope y'all have enjoyed this demo ride today. It's been a lot of fun for me. But on that, guys, ride safe and have fun. We'll see you on the next one. See ya.